Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are continuing with the Chantecaille fall collection, but for today's video, we are focusing on the Black Jaguar Quartet, and we are going to create two beautiful eye looks. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. As you may know, I have an online beauty consulting service. This is a one-on-one video chat with me where you get my undivided attention. It's personalized. So if you have any makeup at home that you just cannot make work for you, go ahead and book an appointment today. Okay, so the Black Jaguar Quartet. First of all, the packaging, glossy and gorgeous. We have this beautiful black Jaguar on the cover here. So when you think of a black Jaguar, you think of its like beautiful, dark, shiny coat, but in the light, in the reflection, sometimes it comes out blue. And this is definitely seen in the eyeshadow selection here. This is the dark, dramatic, more smoky palette of the two. The other day I did the video on Cougar, so we have like a night and day, but I'm going to show you two different looks today using this palette, one more dramatic and one more appropriate for daytime perhaps. But let's go ahead and do some more swatches. We can never have enough swatches of a product, let's be honest. So we have a mixture of different finishes. This dark black over here is matte, but it's kind of soft. You know, it's not like a hard, dry matte. And if you can see the edges of the swatch here, you can definitely sheer it out. And same goes for the blue here. This is like a satiny, pearlescent finish blue, and over here the blue is a bit lighter and over here it's a bit darker, so when you're applying it you can build it up or sheer it out. This one on top is just our beautiful satin finish neutral. It gives me like a bronze with a bit of gold. We will do swatch comparisons at the end, and then we have our white pearlescent shadow here. This is the opposite of subtle. It's a bit intense, but I think this one here we can also sheer it out and also build it up. Starting off with this color here, the more neutral satiny color, going in with a brush. This is the Refer 02. It's just like a really easy, perfect packing brush here. This is just going on the lid. Oh, it's really pretty. It's giving me a bronze, like a lightened bronze crossed with a gold. It's very neutral. It's very pretty. The Cougar palette that I used the other day, that one is like the neutral lovers palette. It's so beautiful. It's so neutral. I'm glad that there's a neutral in this palette here too, because, you know, it's just nice to have variety where it's not only super, super dark. And I'm just bringing this up just a little bit. And then I'm using a clean blending brush. This is the Refer 14. I'm just going to bring this up into the crease here as well. This does have a satin finish, but it isn't a chunky glitter. It's more subtle, so it's quite nice. It's a very, very beautiful shade. Now using a pencil brush, this is the Refer 29. It's a very short, dense, thick brush. I'm going into the blue here and I'm going to use it as eyeliner because it is an eyeshadow, but there's no rule that says you can't use it as eyeliner. I'm tracing this into the lash bed. I'm not going up higher. It's really just along the lash line here on top. If you wanted to, you could take a little bit of setting spray of the Chantecaille rose water and spritz your brush to make the blue more intense. This would make the liner look much more dramatic, so it just depends on your taste that day. If you want like a pop of blue or something just a little bit more subtle, because the blue like this is dark, and so you won't necessarily see right away, oh wow, she's wearing blue eyeliner. Kind of just captures the light a bit and is a bit more mysterious. And then I'm doing the exact same on the bottom lashes here. And I am noticing some fallout here with the blue, which I will go ahead and clean up afterwards. Now let's move on to our more dramatic smoky eye. For this, I'm going to dip into the black shadow here. And for this, I'm using my BK Beauty 203 brush. This is nice because it kind of looks like this style of brush here, meant for, you know, just sweeping shadow on the brush, or on the eye, I should say. But then up here, it's shaped almost more like a blending brush, so you can pack it up and then you can just go here and just very subtly and gently go into the crease and blend out. So it's kind of just like a 2-for-1 brush. With this, I'm going pretty liberally on the lid, and what's nice is as I'm applying this, it kind of looks like a very dark steel gray at first, and then as I'm adding more, it's turning into a soft matte black. But that just tells me that this is versatile and buildable. It's a matte black, which is nice, but it isn't like pitch black, and the instant you use it, you're just doomed to have a super dark look. You could clearly blend this out, sheer it out, and have it be a bit more subtle, which is nice to have, you know, the option here. Taking a clean separate blending brush, this is the Rephr 13, just going to go into the crease here just to blend it up a little bit, because I just want to make sure this looks nice and seamless. And you can go back and forth and keep adding a little bit more of this matte black, keep blending it out. You could leave it like this, you could pack on more to make it even more intense and jet black. It's up to your taste and how intense you want this. Now I'm going into a Rephr 28 brush, and I'm going to go into this beautiful blue. I'm going into this gorgeous color here, and I am just going to pack more of this blue directly over top of the black here. The reason I added the black first is just to intensify it and make this a dark, dramatic, smoky, a little bit of a sparkly blue. And because my eyes are hooded, and if I'm looking at you like this, you can't see much of the blue, I'm just going to bring it up a little bit higher than my natural crease here, just so we can see this beautiful blue. And there is fallout a little bit on this side here as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and clean it up. I always keep a little bit of the Chantecaille Stress Repair Concentrate here. This is a sample size. I always keep this because this is what I use to clean up the under eye. I hate using eye makeup remover to clean up my under eye because I've already done all of my skincare. When you use eye makeup remover, you are removing not only makeup, but also skincare. So I like to use like a little bit on a Q-tip of the Stress Repair Concentrate, whatever samples you have of like eye cream, eye serum, eye mask, whatever, just as long as it's skincare for the eye, use that instead of eye makeup remover. And then I'm just taking a little bit of this blue here on the bottom lashes. And I also added a little bit of that matte black on the bottom here as well, just to, you know, make it dramatic. This is the more intense side. Personally, I would wear this eye look for any occasion. Sometimes I just wake up and I feel blue, not like sad, but I just feel like blue eyeshadow. I just feel like some days call for a blue eyeshadow moment, personally. And then I can go back into my Rephr brush that I used earlier just to soften this up and blend it out a little bit. Okay, so to finish up the eye look here, for this eye in particular, I'm going to go into this Chantecaille eye kajal. It's black, it's super intense. I'll give you a swatch, but basically it's just a very creamy, buttery black liner for the smoky eye. I think that's just, you know, the best look. And I'm gonna go ahead and use, I don't know, I feel like this eye here, I want to keep it light and fresh, and I did add the blue liner, so I think I'll keep it like this, but I'll go in and use my Fossil Longest Lash Mascara and add tons. Okay, so here are the completed eye looks. We really have day and night. It's really quite a stark difference, just the way that I did it. But I just remembered I wanted to add a little bit of the white pearlescent shadow here. So this gorgeous one down here. I'm going in with a really small pencil brush, the Rephr 03. I'm just going to add a touch of this on the inner corner here and on the other one as well. This white color is really nice. It's very like pearlescent and very like almost like has a shift to it. It's very pretty. So I think just putting like a little pop in the corner here, you could add more if you wanted to, but go ahead and vote down below. Do you prefer a look number 1 here, a little bit softer? I think maybe on camera you can't see the blue quite as much, but it kind of just looks like a dark liner, but when you're in person you can actually see that it's blue, but it's just a bit more subtle, a bit more discreet. And then we have look number 2, which is the opposite. This is our more dramatic smoky look. This is like a very stark comparison, but there's definitely wiggle room. Like you can definitely create something in between as well. I just really like this. I like the contrast. I like the day and night look. So I have a couple of the lip cheeks here because there were 2 palettes for the fall collection, and each palette has 2 lip cheeks that came with it as well. So for Black Jaguar, we have the Passiflora lip cheek. And also Orchid. Now Orchid I am very excited to try. I don't know how it will look with this look here with the blue, but I think it looks like a gorgeous shade. Let's go ahead and try Passiflora first. These smell delicious, like a vanilla cupcake. Passiflora is a Your Lip But Better in a cool mauve look. This almost gives me like a 60s vibe with like a cool lip. If you wanted to create like a 1960s blue shadow look, you could just go into the blue shadow here mixed with the pearlescent white. I think that would make it lighter and give me like that sort of vibe. I don't know if that's very accurate or not, but that's the vibe it gives me. This is very pretty, cool toned. It's like a neutral, but Your Lip But Better in like a cool mauve version of it. It's very nice. It's very subtle. I think it works with this side, with this look here. I'm really curious about the Orchid shade because it's so dramatic. It's like a dark berry. I don't know how they paired it perfectly with this one here, but I'm going to go ahead and try it and see how it looks. Orchid is beautiful. It gives me like a deep berry cherry vibe, perfect for fall, perfect for cooler months. I actually do like it with this blue eye look. At first I thought maybe it would be too much, it would clash, but it's dark and dramatic, but without being too flashy. So I think that's where it wins. And I think also with this eye look here, it's also a perfect pairing. I'm interested in mixing and matching because, like I said, there's different lip cheeks too that came with the Cougar palette. You can mix and match. You don't have to follow exactly like this lip cheek with this palette if you don't want to. I think it's a guideline, so it's kind of up to you if you want to, you know, mix and match a little bit. These are magnetized, so sometimes I like to stack them this way because it kind of just looks like, I don't know, like a playful little toy or some sort of art. Instead of stacking them side by side like that, I kind of like it like this. It just looks, I don't know, more whimsical, I guess. So let's go ahead and do some swatch comparisons with this eyeshadow palette here because I have some blues, I love a blue shadow, and I have some palettes that I think might be sort of close. The first one is Tom Ford, and this is Soleil Neige. This, to me, the color story looks quite similar to the Chantecaille one, but this one here is all satin. There's no matte. Let me go ahead and just swatch this one underneath. The blue in Soleil Neige is much more gray and dark. It doesn't pop as much as the Chantecaille one. I can sort of see the similarities, especially with like the white pearlescent and the dark black, but the one in Tom Ford is satin, it's not matte. So if you like this, you would also like this, but they're different. There's no like perfect dupe here. It was just the color story that I was like, that's interesting. I have a blue here from Olivia Palermo. This is the Au Naturel palette. This is very pretty. I love this palette. It's so hefty and heavy duty. It looks so luxurious as well. But there's a blue in here that I want to go ahead and swatch next to this blue because, I don't know, I'm just curious. I would say that the Olivia Palermo blue here is more glittery. It's not as finely milled, but they are similar-ish in hue. I think Olivia Palermo is more navy, whereas the Chantecaille one kind of has a bit more lightness to it. I also have a Sicily single. This is Silky French Blue. I love this one so much. It's a really nice satin finish, and so I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this next to the blue from Chantecaille as well. This one, the Sicily shadow, feels much more silky and finely milled, much closer to the Chantecaille finish. If you like Silky French Blue, you would love this Cougar palette here. They're close, they're not dupes, but they're much closer, I find, than the Olivia Palermo. And it makes sense because Silky French Blue is one of my favorites, and I love this blue from the palette here too. I have also the Guerlain Mystic Peacock palette. The color story is very different, but there are two blues. There's like a dark indigo navy, and this is like a turquoise greeny. I'll swatch both of these somewhere on the side here. I don't think these are going to be close, but it's just sort of to give you perspective at home. So I would say that the indigo color from the Guerlain palette is closer to Chantecaille. This like teal green color really has nothing to do with the rest of the palette here. It was just sort of to, you know, give you swatches and comparisons at home. And I also have my Dior denim palette. My Old Faithful, my Steadfast Blue Shadow palette. I love this one so much. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch all 5 of these on my arm as well. All right, so here is denim. It really doesn't have much to do with the Chantecaille Cougar here. This is like the dark navy. It's definitely different than the blue we have here. This blue is satin. It's a bit brighter as well. So I mean, I love blue. Clearly, I have some blue swatches here. I am very happy to have Cougar. It's different than the Tom Ford palette than I expected. Like Tom Ford at first, I was like, oh, it's a very similar color story, but it's actually quite different. I like that there is matte, and I like that there is a soft satin so that you can go into the crease, you can, you know, blend there without necessarily adding glitter to your crease or anything wild like that. I think it's a very fun palette, and maybe next time I use it, I will only do more blue looks because I'm interested in blending out this blue with the white only and not the black, just to lighten it up and, I don't know, just have fun with a blue eyeshadow. Let me know if you picked up Cougar and Jaguar, or which ones you picked up and which lip cheeks you picked up as well. I really love this color. I think it's just so pretty. I also quite enjoy the lip cheek formula. It's very buttery, very creamy, very hydrating. I love it. I love the resurgence of glossy lips. My lips have been so dry for the past couple of years wearing matte lipsticks under a mask, and I'm very happy to gloss it up again. If you are a new viewer to my channel, I hope you take the time to subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, oh my goodness, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of your love, your support. I love the community we have here of very extra people who love luxury makeup. I really appreciate you. And I appreciate that you take time out of your busy day to watch me. It means a lot, I understand. We only have so much time in the day, and the fact that you make time for me multiple times a week is very important, so thank you. Anyway, I think that's it for today's video, so thank you all so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.